Here's Kevin. So this is before we discussed any form stuff. So one part of it is the reach forward. So when you reach forward, you really want to extend your arm and straighten it out as far as possible, so you get a good long reach, so that with each stroke you get as much water as possible. Catch as much water as possible, I should say. In part two, at this point you are entering sort of right in front of your head and going to the center line. So you want to reach in front of your shoulder as opposed to right down the center. Your body position is good. Your hips and legs are maybe a little low. Your breathing is comfortable, although you do raise your head slightly when you turn to breathe. It's not bad, but you want to keep your head as level as possible. And here you can see, just what happens when you reach into the center. So your hips are shifting left to right a little bit. And you can also see your head raising as you turn to breathe. So you really want your head to not come out of the water at all. And then here, just go to the center. So left hand would stay off the left side, right hand, right arm would stay off the right side. Basically, if you imagine a column centered on your shoulder, your hand stays more or less in that column. And you're doing a good job with pulling more or less directly back, so that's good. So with the underwater pull, and you may recall this from our session, right now what you have is a little bit of an elbow slip, and that means that your hand and forearm are not going entirely vertical early in the stroke. So as you pull back, your elbow sort of leads your arm backwards. What that means, or what that translates to, is that you're not getting as much leverage on the water that you are capable of. The other thing you can see here is how you sort of enter and then immediately start into your stroke without fully extending. So full extension is step one, and then improving your catch mechanics is step two. At the end of the video, there's a slow-mo or a frame by frame, and I'll sort of break it down for you. And then here you just see where your hand is entering and going to. So you're going right to the center, sometimes even across your center. So you want that left hand would be staying in front of the left shoulder, right hand would be staying in front of the right shoulder. So this is concentrating on trying to keep the head level, keep a little contact between the shoulder and the ear when you turn to breathe. Much better. Alright, so when you think about it, you're able to do it. That's great. That's yeah, much different. Very good. Yeah, so this is a lot better. So what we talked about here was trying to get your shoulder to rub your ear or your chin as you reach forward. That helps with the extension. So you're still entering and immediately going into your stroke. You really want to straighten that arm out as you reach forward, but this is improved from prior. You can see your body position is even a little better. Alright, this is working on the reach, reaching in front of your shoulder as opposed to in front of your head. So this looks better. That left arm seems to have a tendency to go more in front of your head, so that'll be the one you're going to want to work on a bit more. That's good.
of towards the end here, going more in front of your head again.
So this is another one of working on the reaching in front of your shoulder and really extending your arm. So you watch this and you go back to the beginning. This is much better. So what happens when you reach more forward with the longer arm? You try to straighten your arm out. Regardless if your pull mechanics are good or not, you're going to get more water. And that's a fundamental sort of.
This is working on just the reach again. So trying not to reach in front of your head. You're doing a pretty good job here. So this will be something you want to kind of go back to as far as your drills go, just to make sure you don't revert back to what we call crossing over or crossing in. Good. So working on the catch. Good. So when you look at it from this angle, if you see your hand and forearm essentially disappear or become smaller from this upper view, then you are getting that early vertical forearm, which is what you want to see. Oh, this is good. Good. Yeah, pretty good with this arm as well. Working on the catch, or thinking about the catch. A little harder to do, when you're swimming, especially if you've got other things you're thinking about, but good reach. So if I forget to mention this, that's good. Allow a little more bend for your knee with your kick. So you don't want, your legs are a little bit straight, so you'll allow some flexion for your knee, and that'll help with the kind of the snap down, the soccer ball thought with your foot. So you can see some of the catch angle here. However, the reason I tend not to have newer swimmers do this all at once is because
What I was going to say there was work on one thing at a time. So the reach first, always you want to reach long, and then you work on your catch. So frame by frame here, right arm going in, and then you start your pull back, and then this right here is a straight arm, but then notice how your elbow sort of leads the stroke back from this point. What you'd want is the hand and forearm angle directly up and down or vertical, and it doesn't happen until this frame right here. So you want that to happen as soon as possible in the stroke. That's the early vertical forearm or the high elbow catch. So looking at your left arm, this is when you turn to breathe, so your arm sort of crossed in slightly as you entered. You can see how it's like, along the center line there. And then you start your pull. It's a straight arm at this point. Alright, so that's more of a straight arm pull. That's better than the elbow slipping back. Same thing applies. If you can get your hand and forearm to angle down, upper arm still extended forward, create a lot of tension, pressure on the water, and then that will make you faster. I hope this helps.